Hey everyone, this is Isobe Food here with a recipe for chicken noodle soup. You can start with putting a whole chicken and 2 turkey wings on top of a bed of mirepoix, that's celery, carrots, and onions, and go ahead and roast that in an oven at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes to an hour. We just want all the skin to get nice and crispy. And to the pans, I'm going to add a couple of splashes of white wine and just deglaze each of the pans, being sure to, scrape up all the brown bits and caramelize parts. That's where all the great flavor is going to begin. Now we're going to reserve one of those turkey wings and the meat from the chicken breast. Just go ahead and wrap that up, throw it in the fridge, and we'll cut it up later, add it to the soup. Now with the rest of the chicken, carcass as well as the turkey wing, we're going to add that back to the stock pot. Add in a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm going to add in some celery leaves, the heart of the celery, and one more chopped up onion, and some fresh herbs here. We're going to have some thyme and a sprig of rosemary. Just wrap that up tightly so that you can fish it out later. It's called a bouquet garni. To that mixture, now we're going to add 2 quarts of cold water, and we'll turn the heat up on to medium-high and bring it up to a simmer. Alright, so we have our fresh herbs. I'm going to add some dry herbs in there too to kind of round out the flavor. I have some dried thyme, rosemary, parsley, and oregano, just about a teaspoon of each, into a tea ball, little trick so that you can fish it out later. You saw that the liquid was boiling. I want to back the heat down to low now, so that we have a gentle simmer, just a few bubbles breaking the surface. In the meantime, you're going to have some scum and foam rise to the top along with some fat. Go ahead and skim that off the top. You want to repeat that process throughout the simmering process, and just reserve that fat. We're actually going to use that later to increase the flavor once we start our soup. But there we have a nice gentle simmer. And what I'm doing here is just measuring the water level. We started with 2 quarts of water, and at the end we want 2 quarts of broth left over. So if you see that it's measured out and you need to add some water back in, go ahead and do so. So here's a little secret ingredient from a chef that I learned. We're going to add in a tablespoon of ketchup. It's going to do a number of things with the coloring of the stock and the salt, and for fair measure just add in a little splash of Worcestershire. Aside from that amount of salt, I'm not going to put too much in for now. You want to not put in salt until the very end. It could be very disastrous to put too much salt in the beginning. It's been simmering for about an hour. I've been continuing to skim the fat off. You saw that there was a pretty good amount of fat. But really, how do you know when your stock has simmered long enough? Well, you see I'm pulling out the meat here. It's just falling off the bones. Really, if you took a piece of that and ate it, it wouldn't really taste like chicken anymore. It would be very bland tasting. Same with the vegetables. So we're done. We're going to go ahead and strain that 2 quarts of liquid. Make sure to get all the nasty bits out, and what we ended up with is 2 quarts of stock. We started with 2 quarts. You want to end with 2 quarts. Alright, so to my clean stock pot, I'm adding a couple of teaspoons of vegetable oil and my mirepoix mixture. I've got about 1 onion and 2 ears of celery and carrots. Now, with the reserved chicken fat that we have skimmed off, what I want you to do is add in about another teaspoon and a half of that fat into the mixture. That's, again, just another layer of flavor that we're adding back in to the mirepoix mixture. And go ahead and sweat that for 2 to 5 minutes. Here I'm adding in some white pepper, crushed black pepper, cayenne pepper, and salt. And we'll just mix that around and let that get translucent. Once that's translucent, you're going to add in your 2 quarts of stock. And turn the heat up to high so we can get it boiling. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk some seasoning. You see thyme, pepper, garlic powder, celery salt, onion powder, and some golden curry. S&B brand. That's 1/4 of a block of medium heat. It's just going to bring out some incredible flavors. I love the curry taste in my chicken noodle soup. Just classic from family recipes. Here I'm salted, and now I'm adding in about 8 ounces of linguine. You can use whatever brand you'd like. Once it's just about hit the al dente stage, I'm adding in my turkey wing and chicken breast meat back in that I've chopped up. Turn the heat off. I've already added in some of that onion powder, some of that celery salt. It's all to taste, you know. You know what you like to eat. Make it taste like you like it. Naturally, I'm gonna serve it with a biscuit, spoon it into a nice warm bowl, and there you have it. That's a nice, easy, down-home recipe for chicken noodle soup for all of your cold nights. I hope you like it.